KASPA's dumping straight to hell right now? Or is it? Here's my thoughts. So the first thing to look at, right, is obviously back here, we broke through the 10-cent support, okay? And we come all the way down to the 5-cent support, right? And this is what we're all scared of. So back when we were up here, we were all scared that it's going to break this support and it's going to take out all of this, right? Because there was no support or anything around here. It's just a big pump. And we were scared that this is going to break and we're going to come down. Well, that's already happened now. So we don't have to worry about that happening anymore because it's already happened. And whether it comes beneath this support at 5 cents is going to depend on the stock market, right? If Trump comes out with some more crazy tariffs and the stock market dumps more, obviously altcoins and everything, Bitcoin and altcoins could dump more and maybe KASPA could come down more, right? But it'll probably be short-lived. I don't think it's going to stay down there for long if that does happen. Because if we go into the Bitcoin chart right now, so on the Bitcoin chart then, the last time we had a black swan event like this one with Trump and his tariffs like we've got now, the last time we had a black swan event was COVID back here, right? Basically, the economy took a hit with COVID, right? All of the markets went to shit, okay? So the government and the central banks started cutting interest rates and they started doing quantitative easing, which is basically when the central bank buys debt from the commercial banks, which then increases the available liquidity that the commercial banks have that allows them to lend and invest more freely. And then that stimulates the economy, right? So that's what it basically is. And this is what caused the bull run last time, right? It caused the stock market to go on a bull run, and then Bitcoin obviously went in a mega bull run, as it does. And you had the altcoin season and stuff like that. So if we get this happen again over here, if this gets much worse, the worse it gets, the more the Fed is going to be pressured to cut rates and do quantitative easing, right? So it might be a situation where we've got a lot of short-term pain, but then in the long run, this could help actually trigger the next big run up into this box here. And then eventually, after they reverse the quantitative easing, then the bubble will burst and we'll get a crash, right? Which is what happened last time. And also, if we look at the total free chart, the total free chart didn't even break yet, right? We had a resistance. We rejected off of the resistance, right, of the previous all-time high. And we had this situation with Bitcoin, right? Over here, Bitcoin rejected off the previous all-time high, and it went sideways for ages until pushing through, right? And now Bitcoin got rejected basically off 100k or thereabouts, okay? Which is just another resistance that we've got to get through. So with altcoins, similar to what Bitcoin did, this is going to break through eventually, right? And it's going to go higher. It's just a resistance that we've got rejected off in the short term until we eventually break through it, right? And then it's blue skies. So obviously once all of this happens, KASPA's going to push up and break out, you know, and eventually we're going to move up to higher highs, right? And obviously we've got a lot coming for KASPA. The next thing coming up in 35 days from now is the crescendo hard fork to 10 blocks per second. That's going to be bullish. This could maybe incentivize exchanges to list it, you know, like Coinbase and Binance and Crypto.com that we're waiting for. After that, probably later this year, we're going to get the smart contracts, which is going to be big. You know, if the bull run kicks off into the next leg higher later on this year and smart contracts come out at the same time, this is potentially going to be a pretty big catalyst, right? Especially along with the Coinbase, Binance, Crypto.com listings and maybe Robinhood. And then longer term, maybe an ETF for KASPA, right? Because KASPA's on Grayscale's list of assets under consideration, right? And this is step one for the ETFs. Like Grayscale focuses on digital assets, so they make ETFs for altcoins first. But this is step one, like further down the line, the cryptos listed on Grayscale are going to be the first ones to get other ETFs, such as with BlackRock or other big investment firms. And I think when all the altcoin ETFs start getting released more aggressively, I think this is going to be a big trigger for an altcoin season also. So yeah, there's a lot of potential future catalysts coming for KASPA. KASPA's more of a long-term investment than a short-term trade in a lot of ways, right? Some of these other coins you just get in and you get out, but KASPA's actually pretty good for a long-term hold. So even if KASPA doesn't get to crazy price targets in this bull run, maybe still further down the line, I still think it can get to pretty high price targets, okay? That's my opinion anyway. Let me know what you think. How high do you think KASPA can go in this bull run? Or even long-term in the future, how high do you think KASPA can go? Let me know down in the comments, and please drop a like to help the algorithm push this video, and also consider subscribing if you want to keep up my future videos. And thanks for watching. Bye.